The episode begins with a giant bear in front of the smart refrigerator. It is then revealed that this bear is the head of the Hunters League, surprising the girl because his visits are rare. The bear informs the girl that there is a plan to attack the frog demons, and he needs her and the smart refrigerator's help. The girl expresses her surprise, stating that Hakan cannot fight. However, the bear wants Hakan to provide food and drinks along the way because warm and ready-to-eat food would be valuable to the hunters. The bear assures them that if they come along, they will ensure their protection. The girl asks Hakan for his opinion on this mission, and Hakan thinks it over, stating that if they ignore the frog demons, the village will be in danger. Hakan and Lamis agree to participate, which makes the bear happy. After 3 days of preparation, Lamis and the smart refrigerator join the hunters in their attack on the frog demons. Meanwhile, the refrigerator talks to itself, mentioning that the safety of the village and Lamis is important, but the most crucial thing is not to lose ownership of the transport circle. The transport circle is a magical device that allows people to travel between the pure flow lake layer and the other layers or the surface. Later, we see some hunters talking among themselves, mentioning that this time of year is profitable, and they will earn a lot of money. The refrigerator, referring to what Lamis said, mentions that the frog demons cause trouble by laying many eggs during the mating season. One of the hunters predicts that there will be a high number of frog demons this year. Late in the day, the hunters take a break on the road, and a guard approaches Lamis, telling her not to fear the frog demons and pointing to the refrigerator, referring to it as the box with its own mind. The guard has heard a lot about it in the village. Lamis tells the guard that its name is Hakan and that it can buy food and drinks if money is inserted into it. The guard decides to buy something and chooses an item that has images resembling luma slices, surprising Hakan. The guard is impressed by the drinks and mentions that he has never seen a container like this before, as it seems impossible for such intricate artwork to be hand-drawn. Lamis explains that the empty containers disappear, so there is no need to worry about garbage. The guard tastes the drink and finds it warm and wonderful. He looks at the refrigerator and says that the box becomes more fascinating after that. Suddenly, a girl named Flemina appears. The leader, Kirial, calls her, and the smart refrigerator is surprised, noting that he is the leader with the striped beard, meaning that all the guards work under him. It becomes clear that the guard is the leader of all the guards. The leader asks Flemina if she knows a lot about magical tools and ancient treasures, and he wants to know the nature of the refrigerator. Flemina approaches the refrigerator, examines it closely, and tells him that she doesn't sense any magical energy. It seems to be a mass of iron without any organic components. The leader wonders if things come out of it without being replenished. Flemina confirms that it's true, but there are blessings that do things other than producing magical energy. The leader approaches the refrigerator and says that it's an extraordinary entity he doesn't understand, but he would be grateful if it helps them. Then the bear calls out, "Hey everyone, the sun is setting soon. Let's set up our camp here." Hakan becomes happy because he will gain regular customers. All the guards start taking drinks from the smart refrigerator and enjoying their food with joy and happiness. Hakan adds macaroni to his stock and the guards eat it, finding it delightful. Lamis then meets their small leader, Shui, who loves food a lot. In the night, we see the leader of the hunters, the bear, wanting to talk to Lamis and Shui about the next day. He informs them that it will take them 3 hours from here to reach the den of the demons, and they are there to provide food. He asks them to choose between waiting there or coming with them to the battlefield. Lamis thinks for a moment and says that she is a hunter, so there is no problem in going to the battlefield. However, Hakan doesn't want to join the fight. Hakan tells her that he has no objection to going to the battle, and the bear tells Lamis that he will rely on both of them. Later, we see Lamis sleeping next to Hakan, who talks to himself, stating that he will protect Lamis because she is his first customer and his first friend. In the morning of the next day, we find high humidity and muddy ground. The hunters are on their way to the battle, and suddenly the bear shouts that the frog demons are in front of them, urging them to attack. The battle begins between the guards and the frog demons, and the guards kill many of them. Lamis asks Hakan to join, and then we see a frog attacking Lamis, but she hits it and throws it into the sea. The smart refrigerator appears with a protective light shield, killing the frog. They are amazed by this light barrier. Hakan thinks to himself that he wants to expand his field of vision and offers it for 1,000 points. Lamis asks him to inform her if an enemy approaches from behind, so Hakan tells her that if he says she can earn extra goods, it means there are enemies approaching from behind. He also creates the light barrier and kills them. The leader is surprised by this blue light, and Lamis tells him that it is Hakan's power. The leader is greatly astonished and looks at Hakan with a suspicious gaze. He mentions that he prefers to be in harmony with Hakan, but Hakan rejects his request. The leader instructs the guards to cut the tongues of the frogs, as they will deliver them to the League. Then Philomena asks him to participate in that, but he refuses, saying that he is the leader and does not deal with such matters. The guards get angry and say that it's unfair and tyrannical. The leader asks what they should do now, as it is not bad for their profits, but they can increase the pace and head to the front line. Philomena tells the leader that their task is limited to guarding Lamis and the smart refrigerator. The leader informs them that they have earned a lot of money, and it was easier to manage the group, so they might receive rewards for their efforts. It would be unfortunate not to go. Philomena agrees to go and help on the front line, but only with Lamis. Hakan also agrees to join them. They then go to the front line and fight against the frogs, defeating them. Unfortunately, there are many injured individuals, and they need to be carried in a carriage. Lamis carries one of the wounded, and Hakan expresses his displeasure at not being able to help in such times. Suddenly, he reveals a sports drink, and Lamis understands that he wants to give it to the injured to aid their recovery. Hakan provides many of these sports drinks and gives one to a wounded person, asking them to drink as they please. The person thanks her for it and feels that life has returned to them. The bear thanks the leader, Kirill, for his help and tells him that he expected this from the exhibition of foolish monsters. Hakan is surprised by this strange name and wonders if it implies immense power. The bear tells Kirill that they had a lot of time, and perhaps they didn't need their assistance now. However, they appreciate their cooperation and have managed to subdue the frogs thanks to them. But the number of frog demons was double what they expected. Lamis asks about the meaning of that, and the bear explains that it was a massive swarm, but there is a high possibility that the frog demon king might appear. Hakan is astonished and imagines that he would be extremely powerful based on his name. Then the bear tells Kirill that he asked them to act as guards, but if the frog demon king appears, things will be different. Their only option is to ask for their help. Kirill tells them to leave it to the exhibition of foolish monsters. The bear asks Lamis to stay with Hakan and provide food for the injured and the hunters. Lamis is happy about that and tells him that she will take care of it, with Hakan's assistance. In the night, we see the injured individuals drinking the sports drink, and one of the hunters calls for someone to help with the treatment of the wounded. Lamis replies that she will come to help. Then Hakan tells her that he will leave her alone for a while and not to cry from feeling lonely. He says, "Look forward to your next usage." Lamis doesn't understand the meaning behind his words, but she leaves him and goes. Hakan says to himself, "We may appear as lovers if I were flesh and blood, but I'm not organic." Suddenly, a person comes and tries to steal the smart refrigerator. Hakan welcomes him but frightens him by making the refrigerator talk. Hakan asks the person to remain silent to prevent him from smashing it because if it speaks, his secret will be exposed. However, Hakan offers him the hot corn soup and the person becomes delighted, reaching out his hand to take it. But suddenly, Hakan spills the scorching hot soup on his hand, causing him intense pain. Hakan says, "This is the extremely hot corn chowder." The man becomes very angry and tries to destroy Hakan. But at the right moment, Lamis comes and grabs the man's hand before he can do anything. She scolds and hits him, then restrains him to prevent further trouble. Suddenly, the frog demon king starts to appear and approach them. His power is incredibly terrifying, and all the hunters are in a state of fear and shock, stunned by the presence of the frog demon king in this place. Lamis asks everyone to retreat, but the animals pulling the carriages are too scared to move. Suddenly, Lamis releases them and frees them. She takes their place and starts pulling the carriages, but she is very slow in movement. Hakan thinks of a solution to this problem, using a barrier to block the attacks. However, while he could save Lamis, he can't save the injured as well. He contemplates a way to slow down the Frog Demon King. Suddenly, he finds an item on his list and presents it. Lamis understands that he wants her to use this item. Hakan changes his form into a candy machine, which surprises Lamis greatly. Then he produces a candy piece from the machine, and she takes it but doesn't understand what it means. Hakan becomes very worried because he can't make her understand what he wants with the candy and the soda. He tries repeatedly, but she doesn't comprehend his intentions. Hakan gets frustrated because his incomplete explanation can't convey his message to her. At that moment, the hunter tells Lamis that Hakan might be senile and not understanding. Lamis tells him that it's not true and she is sure that Hakan is trying to tell her something. Hakan becomes upset because Lamis believes in him but struggles to understand what he's saying. However, he can't do anything more to help her. Suddenly, the monster approaches the restrained man and asks them to untie him because he doesn't intend to die with them. They ask him to be silent and place the candy in his mouth, pouring the soda on his face. A large explosion occurs due to the fizzy drink. Lamis understands that Hakan might have wanted to convey this message to her. Then Lamis puts some candy into the soda, and to their surprise, it fizzes and explodes upward. Hakan informs them that this phenomenon has spread on video sharing sites. If you add a specific candy to cola, the liquid will explode all at once. Lamis confirms and understands that she needs to put the candy in the cola. Hakan says hello, indicating that she is correct. Lamis tells all the soldiers to do it this way and put the candy in the cola. After that, they aim it at the monster and, indeed, the cola explosion scatters it completely. Suddenly, the bear and the commander arrive and are surprised to find this monster here because they were searching for it elsewhere. They assist Lamis and everyone with her, launching a united attack on the giant monster and quickly defeating it. Lamis and her companions rejoice, celebrating their victory over the colossal beast. The hunter acknowledges that their success was thanks to Hakan. Afterward, the bear asks Lamis not to act recklessly because he was extremely worried about her. Lamis apologizes to him, realizing that it was her mistake to endanger the group. The bear apologizes as well, and Lamis tells him that she should be the one apologizing for her impulsiveness. Hakan admires this lovely scene where the bear bows to Lamis, and she bows back to him. Then the bear thanks everyone, acknowledging their excellent performance, and informs them that they must leave now to continue their campaign until they reach the village. With that, the second episode of this fantastic anime concludes. Stay tuned for the next episode with thrilling events. However, we kindly request that you subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell to receive updates on what's new.